As a yoga teacher, the role is to help your students in and out of yoga poses safely. It's easy to get injured in a yoga pose, especially if you don't understand the basic principles of alignment in yoga. Injuries occur when students don't work within the limits of their own bodies and push themselves too far. Another common reason why students get injured is when they focus on how they think a pose should look and compare their way of doing things to other students or to social media posts. So something to keep an eye out in the modern world, just to check in with your students and just make sure that they really are feeling comfortable within their own bodies with the poses that they are practicing and that they are learning. So let's look at some foundations of alignment. So, for example, the hands. It's very important to protect students against restraint and injury, especially when the hands are on the mat and bearing weight. So instruct your students to always spread their fingers wide on the mat so they distribute their body weight evenly throughout their hands. Also to press through the thumb and forefingers and have natural lift upwards of the arches in the palm. When the arches are naturally lifted in this way, our body weight is distributed evenly to protect the hands and wrists. So we'll also have a look at the feet. To create a firm foundation of feet for standing yoga poses, it's important to distribute the weight evenly throughout ankles, toes and feet. Doing this also ensures that the surrounding joints, such as our knees and hips, are also protected. One way to do this is to spread the toes evenly on the mat, and this allows the weight of the feet to be distributed evenly and prevents the feet from lifting off the mat. Another cue to keep in mind in standing poses is to press through the ball of the heel of the feet evenly. With the exception of chair poses, in most standing poses, it's important to have a firm foundation of the feet and press into our heels and balls of the feet. We're therefore firmly rooted into the mat and giving support and stability in standing poses. Two more helpful cues are to feel the natural lift upwards of the arches of the feet and press evenly through all four corners of the feet. These two cues also help to create firmness and stability in the feet. So now let's look at the knees. In any standing poses or balance poses, we want to avoid locking the knee by keeping a soft micro bend in the knees. And this helps to protect the knees from injury and keeps our legs stabilised. In standing poses, the knees should be stacked directly over the ankle or a little bit before the ankle to avoid injury. The knee should not go past the ankles. And another principle is always to keep the knees in the same direction as the toes. This will prevent knees from splaying out to either side and rotating inwards or outwards. In standing poses, where strength in the legs is needed, we can engage the stronger muscles in our legs to take strain off the knees. One way to do this is to instruct students to feel the kneecaps lift up slightly to engage the quad muscles. Now let's have a look at the shoulders. In many yoga poses, it's common to see the students have their shoulders up by the ears and hunched over a little. So doing this can create lots of stress and strain in the neck and shoulders and the spine. So a very good cue for students is to keep their shoulders drawn down away from the ears. And another way you can say this to students is to roll the shoulders down to the back of the spine. And now we'll take a look at the spine. The spine alignment is an integral part of any safe yoga practice. So one way to protect the spine and keep alignment is to engage the core muscles. So by engaging the core muscles, this will help take strain off our lower backs. A vulnerable energy prone area is the lower back, so we need to be very mindful of this area when we're teaching and instructing our students. Another good cue for students for a straight spine is to get them to focus on elongating their spine and have them have the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky while their tailbone reaches down towards their mat. When it comes to poses that involves twisting the spine, always try to keep the spine aligned and allow the twist to come from the core. Beginning with the twist in the core and then allow the head and neck to follow last. In poses that involve folds, always allow the fold to start at the hips and not at the lower back. In forward folds, the fold should be lengthened and the spine should be lengthened before you come fully over. And finally, the core. It's very important to engage the core to protect the lower back and hips from injury. And this will help students transition in and out of poses by bringing awareness to their abdominal muscles. To do this, it's helpful to instruct students to pull their belly into their spine, and this will automatically create stability in the body and in that whole area. This will also contract the core muscles. And another way that might be helpful is engage the core or activate the core. Core engagement also keeps students stable during their balance poses. So thank you so much and namaste.